Okay, good morning, all. On the Sunday morning, beautiful, bright day, very hot day, of course. It's been 50 degrees in Chennai. I don't know about the other cities. It is 50 degrees in Chennai. Very hot here. I don't know about the other cities. I think everywhere in Tamil Nadu it's very hot. And one thing I advise as a guru to everybody is that drink a lot of water. That is very important. Today, while opening the satsang, I wanted everyone to really be safe in your homes because the temperature is very high. It is very reaching up to 50 degrees. Drink a lot of water, and if you can drink tender coconut, stay hydrated. That's what I was planning to say as the first thing. Many things, many people have been into heat related disease for last 20 days. Heat related disease like gut issues, like more of headaches, migraines. Have a cooler, sunscreen, and take care, because health is the first thing, and these seasonal shifts are very important. So in a way, try to manage the sun. In the, maybe in 1 or 2 months we will be entering into Dakshinayanam, and we will go into winter, so then it's not a problem. But this year summer is so hot and the temperature is very high, so stay hydrated. That is the first advice I want you all to follow. Let's start the satsang. We'll start with the Ganapati. Om Gham Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gham Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gham Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ghanana Antva Ganapatikum Avamahe Kavim Kavina Upamashravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspada Hana Shanvan Hodivissi Sadanam. Om Shri Mahaganatipataye Namaha. Ganapati is considered to be very important in Shri Vidya Sadhana. Ganapati is the stability. Ganapati is the stance. Nowadays, people go towards the forms of Ganapati. If you do Mahaganapati, it's that benefit. If you do Mahaganapati, this benefit. If you do Uchishta Ganapati, that benefit. This benefit psychology has entered into Ganapati also, it seems. This benefit psychology has entered everywhere, and it is now prevalent in Ganapati also. But in reality, Ganapati is all about stability. In Upasana and in the traditions, our masters have advised people to do Ganapati to have a stability first. See, whenever you have a particular goal in life, when you want to go somewhere, instead of being obsessed upon the results and the benefits, it is very advisable that you first mind your stance and mind your way, so that the goals automatically align with who you are and what you are. So Ganapati is one such point where we leave all the thoughts about the goals. We leave all the extra thought process, the processes that we overthink about, and we concentrate on our stance. The stance is the first element for anything, whether to achieve goal or be peaceful or be for anything that matters. Stance is the first thing. If you don't have enough stance, if you don't have enough of clarity about what you are standing for on the first place, you will not be able to reach your goal. Dissoluting or dispersed, having your energy dispersed become very easily possible. Because you are not clear of your goals, your energy can be dispersed by even a very, very, very simple events which can trigger you in a very big way. So, in my opinion, Ganapati is a place where you don't take the benefit psychology too seriously. Benefits, of course, we have our goals for some benefits. We have our goals for some benefits. We don't just like that do things in our life. We do things because we want something, or we are up to something, or we are into something. But if we have that from Ganapati itself, there is a lot of chance that we will lose our energy. For the short time goals, for the short term, like 1 or 2 months goals, things are different. But when you have a very long term goal, like for 3 or 5 years, that is something like a marathon. You don't sprint in a marathon. You conserve energy in a marathon. Only when you near the last round, you gain the speed. You don't first straight away sprint on a marathon. Ganapati is more about reinforcing that concept. You don't run on a marathon. That's why Ganapati is always seated. Ganapati is always stands. It is all about stands, because Ganapati is about remembering you that your stance and your well-being is more important than the goals and the destiny you fix for yourself. So today we will have a short sadhana on Ganapati, one and all. I know many of you got initiated from me and you are doing Ganapati, but still today we are going to have a short Ganapati sadhana to remind you of these concepts. So, Ganapati sadhana is that you need not worry more about the benefits of this Ganapati, benefits of that Ganapati. Ganapati sadhana is more to root yourself, ground yourself, and so that you push more from yourself. That's how Ganapati is. So, you will do a short sadhana on Ganapati. Sit straight, close your eyes, inhale deeply, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Now, close your hands like this. All the 5 fingers, close your hands like this. Then face the palm to the sky. Keep it on your thighs. Close your eyes. Gham. Gham. Gham in the sense it's the fourth gha. It's gha. Not ka, not ka, not ka. It's gha. The sound has to come from the chest or even down. The sound has to come from the stomach. Gha. Gham. How you spell bubble gum? That is the basic of this phonetics. It's bubble gum. So it's gum. Gham. 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 Tighten your fist. Do not loose your fist. Tighten your fist. Then keep your hands like this and chant with me. Gham. 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 Ganapati has trunk which starts from the nose and goes till the Mooladhara. So Ganapati itself connects the prana to Mooladhara. Prana is different and the flow of Kundalini is different. Prana is like the current and Kundalini is like a different Shakti. Prana is very essential for the body to live. Prana is where our living is. So when the prana has the power to invoke the Kundalini. In yogic traditions, the Vidya tradition is different, the yogic tradition is different, and the Vedic tradition is different. In Vedic tradition and yogic tradition, in Vedic traditions, the primary elements like sound is refined into words. The Sanskrit akshara from akara to rukara, the 51 aksharas, that is what constitutes the Sanskrit language itself. And when in the Vedic culture, people chant Vedas in a systematic, phonetic, and in a very musical way, not in a very composed music, but in a very arranged music. In a very musical way that the vibration triggers the start of Kundalini. In yogic traditions, the prana kicks the Kundalini awake. In Vidya tradition or in Tantra tradition, someone can initiate you into Kundalini Vidya. Many have this debate in the mind that Kundalini is something which cannot be activated, or something like it gets activated only through many years and penance of things. That is in a way true, because in Tantra, a person with Kundalini initiation can initiate you into Kundalini. But in Vedic traditions, you should have to practice Vedas in a way that the very vibration you have created should kickstart the Kundalini process. So there is a very, it is a very time-consuming process, because it should have to first start with you learning the Vedas and then perfecting the Vedas and then reciting it with the perfection of the resonance. All these things will result you into kickstarting of the Kundalini. That is why in Vedas there are two traditions like Purva Mimamsa and Uttara Mimamsa. In Purva Mimamsa, you cannot see gods and goddesses. It is just Vedas, Suktas, Sri Suktam, Vedic Suktam, Devi Suktam, Pavamana Suktam, all these Purusha Suktam, all these Suktas are Vedic hymns. You cannot attribute one particular deity to a particular Suktam. It is Sri Suktam. We attribute that to the Lakshmi, but the Sri Suktam in reality praises a golden aura which removes the Alakshmi. Alakshmi means it removes whatever invaluable in our life. But that is things which have no value in our life. Sri Suktam doesn't literally guarantee you money, but it guarantees to remove whatever is not needed in your life. So the Vedic Suktams are this. It is not dedicated to a particular goddess, but we praise the Suktams to a particular goddess. Just like the cinema songs, where the lyrics are not written for a particular girl, but the composition is praised and sung towards a particular girl. So it's like that. In Uttara Mimamsa of the Veda, in Uttara Mimamsam is where the Upanishad starts. Brihadaranya Upanishad, Kado Upanishad, Keno Upanishad, Mundakaranya, Mundaka Upanishad, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. All these Upanishad has a particular dedication to deities. There is Garuda Upanishad, Surya Upanishad, where these deities are given primordial importance. There is a Upanishad called Tarasara Upanishad. In Tarasara Upanishad, the Taraka mantra, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. That is given primary importance. This mantra is from Tarasara Upanishad. And Tarasara Upanishad, all these Upanishads are like very, very, very strong in advocating the deity mechanism. The deities are more emphasized in Uttara Mimamsa. Uttara Mimamsa is where the Upasana starts. Upasana starts in Uttara Mimamsa. So, if you look at the Vedic tradition, it starts with you learning how to resonate, and then the Devatas is introduced. Because once you know to resonate with something, it doesn't matter it is Devata or the Parabrahma, you will resonate anyway. That is the concept. The same if you go to yogic traditions. Now we go to yogic traditions. In yogic traditions, people are more concentrated and people are more focused on the very flexibility and the feasibility of the body. Because only when the body is enough rooted and enough conditioned to stay calm and receptive, you can receive any vibrations. So to attain this receptivity and the focus on the health, the prana is manipulated in a very different ways. Any asana you do, it is not the asana, but it is the prana. Any asana you take for that matter, say for example Batmasana, you root prana in a particular way that the prana only goes to the Mooladhara and comes back. You go to Vajrasana, it is the prana rooted in a very particular way that it travels to the spine and gets to the bottom of your hip and then comes back. If you go to the Chakrasana, the Chakrasana is you bend your body like a arch backwards. It is because you direct your prana to a particular stage in your navel and then you dissipate to your head. So, in yogic tradition, the prana is manipulated in very different ways. Just like how we use mantra in the Upasana tradition. I'll come to that. The prana is the mantra in yogic traditions. There is no mantra as such, but prana is the mantra. Today, the mantra is being incorporated into Surya Namaskar, Vajrasana, Virasana, Kukutasana, Mayurasana. There are many asanas which incorporates mantra to it, and they call it as an Tantra Yogasanas. But in my opinion, it is just a mixture in a modern days. But in olden days, there was no mantra for the particular yogasanas. There was dietary restrictions. There was diet restrictions and dietary restrictions, but it is not emphasized on a mantra. Why? Because the prana is manipulated and substituted for the mantra. What is mantra? Mantra is a sound. How is the sound produced? Sound is produced by the prana. What is prana? Prana is the primordial element which can create sound. So if you manipulate the prana, the mantraksharas in your body anyways gets activated. That's the concept of yogic traditions. That is why they don't really emphasize upon learning Vedas or chanting mantras, but they do concentrate upon siddhis of asanas. They try to perfect the asanas in a way that the prana is more circulated in a very specific focused way. When you practice Shirasasana, it is the prana being guided inwardly in your body. So in a way, it is again prana. In yogic tradition is all about prana. If you don't regulate prana properly, there is no use of practicing yoga itself. So this is one particular thing. Now if you come to Tantra tradition, in Tantra tradition, the extensive mix of outer world and inner world happens. Pahirmukha and Antarmukha. There are two concepts. In Pahirmukha, we do all sort of japa, we do all sort of pujas and rituals. In Antarmukha, we do all sort of japam and antaryaga things. Tantra is more mistaken to be Tantra is more mistaken to be a benefit oriented tradition. No. Tantra is never benefit oriented tradition. Just like yoga, just like Veda, Tantra is a dharma. Tantra is a dharma of practical life. When Vedas say standing up is dharma, yogic tradition says standing up in this way is dharma. And in Tantra, it says standing up in this time, in this way, in this place is dharma. Tantric traditions are more specific. That's why it sounds complicated. Because when you add specifications to anything, it becomes complicated, right? When you go to a hotel, you ask for idli, plain, simple, old idli. You ask for dosa. The things are simple. But if you ask for a idli or dosa in a specific style, like I want an idli in the shape of a flower, or if you ask a dosa in the shape of a cone, that's a yogic tradition. Because you bend something in your way that you want. In Tantric tradition, in Tantra tradition, you ask for masala dosa and podi idli. You just add what you want extra. You just add what is more assimilatable, what is more digestible, what is more likable, what is more takeable. That is the Tantra. Tantra is not about benefits. Tantra is about making a child eat medicine by sugarcoating it. That is the Tantra. Vedas are so raw that if I give you the Krishna Yajurveda book and tell you people to read, now everybody will stand up and run away. Nor in this satsang, if I am going to teach Vedas, everybody sit and recite with me, nobody is going to recite with me. Because it's going to be very complicated in words, phonetics, the pressure, the emphasizes. It's going to be really tough, and to see some benefit takes a very long time. In yogic tradition, again, it is about the health, diet and everything. In Tantra tradition, if you ask me if there is no yoga or no Veda, no. Tantra is just a refined space where we assimilate yoga and Vedas in a particular way in a particular shell way where it is consumed in a very beautiful way. For example, when we start with the upasana, the pranayama becomes the essential part and the Ganapati becomes essential part. Because only when we start with the Ganapati and pranayama, the stance and stability will come. So in Tantra tradition, the yogic philosophy of pranayama and the practice is incorporated. And the Vedic tradition of chanting the mantras is incorporated. And plus the goals of Tantra tradition is very clear and specific. That is how Tantra is born. So the Tantra is itself born from the crux and the conversations of Shiva and Parvati. Hence, Ma has always made things very assimilatable for us, digestible for us. So that's why Tantra seems like a back door, but it's not a back door. Tantra is very complicated because you are going to practice Vedas and Yogas together in the Tantra traditions. Tantra is not an easy shortcut. Tantra is the most upheld dharma of this time. Where did the meaning of Tantra go wrong? It is from the 13th to 19th century. From the 13th to 19th century, it is a very period of drought, invasions, conquests, many invasions, Mughals, British, everything has come down. Where this rain down has impacted many traditions from Shaivism, Vaishnavism, Shakta, Gaumara, Ganapatya, every tradition, it has rained down. So what happened is people were struggling to survive from diseases, from droughts, from the invasions, for the life. In that time, everything has to be in a very nutshell. So that's where Tantra became very prevalent because prayers were become very important, that nobody had time to really mug up all the Vedas and then pray to God. But the ritualistic forms of Tantra traditions helped a lot to derive benefits from the gods. So Tantra tradition is not something which is exclusive for humanity or like only few selected individuals from the heaven do it. No, everybody has done it. Tantra tradition seems complicated because people who have learnt tantric traditions have made it look like that. But in reality, it is just discipline plus knowledge. When you put a vast knowledge into a funnel of focus and bring it into practicality, that is Tantra. So the misconceptions on Tantra should never be entertained. Anyone in this satsang, hereafter if someone asks you about Tantra being associated with sex, or Tantra being associated with black magic, or Tantra being associated with any negative comments of this world, I would advise you people to reject it solely, because Tantra is a very beautiful world where yoga, Veda, everything sits together in harmony, and it is a place where nobody is discriminated. And Tantra tradition beautifully tells you a lot of disciplines in daily life which can be practiced, and Sri Vidya Tantra is one such apex of the Tantra traditions. So these are the little misconceptions which we have taken for a very long time on Tantra. So let us not entertain this Tantra misconceptions. And today we will have a little meditation on Hayagriva, because for the Sri Vidya Tantra, Hayagriva has been a very pillar to the contribution, because the Lalita Sahasranama, Lalita Trishadi, the Panchadasakshari mantra, everything was given by Hayagriva to Agastya Rishi, and from Agastya Rishi it got into the world. So let us have a little prayer on Hayagriva. Om Sit straight and chant this bijam with me. Hasaum. 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 Om Udgida Pranodgida Sarvavagishwareshwara Sarvavetamayo Shindaya Sarvam Bhodaya Bhodaya. Everybody recite with me. Om Udgida Pranavodgita Sarva Vagishwareshwara Sarva Veda Mayo Shintaya Sarvam Bodhaya Bodhaya. Om Udgida Pranavodgita Sarva Vagishwareshwara Sarva Veda Mayo Sintaya Sarvam Bodhaya Bodhaya. Om Udgida Pranavodgita Sarva Vagishwareshwara Sarva Veda Mayo Sintaya Sarvam Bodhaya Bodhaya. Om Hasaum. 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 Om Hayagrivaya Namo Namaha. Hayagriva is called as Udgida Pranavodgida because Udgida is the Nada tradition. He makes you, or he awakens the inner Nada, that is Udgida, Pranavodgida, and the Parabrahmanada, Pranavagita. Sarvavagishwareshwara. He is the Lord of all the words. Vagishwara means the Lord of words. Vagishwareshwara means he is the Lord of words. He is the Lord of lords of words. Sarva Veda. Sarva Veda means Veda is the embodiments of all the words and Parabrahma. Sarva Veda. Veda here has two meanings. One is he is the embodiment of all the Vedas. Two, Veda means Parabrahma. Sarva Parabrahma Tattva. Mayo Chintaya. Mayo Chintaya is make me understand it. Mayo Chintaya. It should be innate for me. It should not be away from me. Sarvam Bodhaya Bodhaya. We pray to him that he should be the teacher of teachers and he should make things innately feasible for us to learn. Once the laya or the rhythm is given by the Hayagriva, we can understand the most complicated of tattvas. That's why the Hayagriva is called as Tantra Guru, because he is the one who gives you an innate ability. Ability is different, innate ability is different. Innate ability is something you are fluid from inside. And ability is something you have practiced so much that it becomes fluid for you. So we pray to Lord Hayagriva that in the complicated sea of spirituality, let me be innately capable and reach the ultimate salvation. So that is the prayer we go for Hayagriva. So that is for the satsang. So now we will have a little Q&A. As usual, every week we will have. So if anyone has any questions, you can ask. I'll answer.
Guruji, I want to ask how to do sadhana while traveling. Like if I'm traveling, shall I carry the yantra or how am I supposed to do it?
While traveling, you need not carry the yantra. You can, if you are traveling for a longer time or a shorter time.
For a week.
For a week. For a week, you can just skip the rituals. For a week, there is a ritual to be performed if you are traveling. You should have to keep a pot of water near the deity. Keep the pot open, don't close the pot, or close it partially, don't fully close it. And then you can keep some dry fruits in a little matki, and after that pray to the Lord that it is very inevitable for me to skip this travel, so let me be back in a week and perform the rituals back. So that is good. For a short travel like 1 week, you need not take upon all the yantras and things and go to the places you want. So it is better to stay in the place where it is, but do this ritual. Keep a pot of water partially closed, keep some dry fruits in the near to that, and pray to Lord that this travel is inevitable, that's why you are going, and you can do the you can pray. In travel, you can just close your eyes, sit and chant the Moola mantra which I have given, the Moola mantra which I have initiated you when in the get initiated session. So that you can do it on the travel. In travel, the japam becomes the ritual. In home, you will do both the japam and the ritual. So for 1 week, you need not take things and travel. Come back and do it.
Thank you.
So is there for any mantra sadhana that they can practice to take up any crucial decision for that one mantra?
So while before taking, yes. Yes.
Thank you so much for the Ganapati clarification. In fact, right now only this things has started coming onto the Instagram and everywhere. And actually, I was thinking about this yesterday.
No.
And today you clarified.
No.
It was so good. Thank you so much. And I thoroughly enjoyed again another blissful session. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So for the question about any sadhana for the crucial decision making, before any crucial decision, just sit for a while and just chant Shri Matre Namaha and seek the guidance of Devi that intuitively if something is bad, let it drop off from your life. That is the best way. You need not ask for yes or no. You need not ask for the clear answer. Just sit in a place, close your eyes, take a deep breath, chant Shri Matre Namaha for at least 54 times, and pray to the Universal Mother that she should not allow anything bad that is going to happen. If at all the things that is coming up is bad, let it go off from your life. That is the prayer which is genuinely good for us, because we don't know what is in the future. So it is better you pray to Mother that if it is bad, you make it disappear. Just sit, take a deep breath, chant for 54 times, and pray this.
Whether to, they say in the free time, they chant Ramanama. Is it okay to do it or it has to be for
No, Ramanama is universal. You can chant it anytime. Ramanama is universal. That's not an issue. Any other questions? Okay. Have a nice Sunday. Good morning again. We will have a next satsang on next Sunday. See you all. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Shri Matre Namaha.